So conditional formatting is located on the Home tab in the Styles section. So I can click Conditional Formatting, and it brings up several different options. So let's just go through them from top to bottom. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this data here that we're going to be working with. I'm going to click Conditional Formatting, Highlight Sales Rules. And basically what this means is that it'll highlight those cells based on the criteria that I want it to. So let's say I want it to highlight all data that is above 22. So any information in these, any number that's in, so any number in these cells that is greater than 22, it'll highlight for me. And if I want to clear that out, I just go back to conditional formatting, hit clear rules, and I can either have it clear the entire sheet or just the selected cells. It doesn't really matter for our case, of course, so I'm just going to have it clear the entire sheet. And let's go over to the next one. So we have less than. So I did greater than. I can have it do any one of them less than 20. I can also select different options that I want it to do. I can make it do a custom format. Maybe I want it to be orange. So any number less than 20, it highlights orange for me here. Let's clear that back out. Equal to, I can select wanted all numbers that are 19 to be highlighted. And I don't have to just stop there. I can do text as well. It doesn't have to be numerical. So any cell that says too hot, I can have it glow bright red. I can also have it stack rules. So let's say I also want it to not only show readings that are too hot, I can also have it highlight readings that are too cold. So I go back to highlight cells, text that contains, do too cold, and I'm going to do custom, and let's have it do blue. Okay, and so now we see all readings that are too hot and all readings that are too cold. It's very professional looking. It doesn't matter if it changes, so I'm actually going to change this value here just to show you. I'm going to put 22, and it automatically changes for me based on the information. So it constantly updates. So if these were like live readings that were coming in, and you could set up a spreadsheet to do that, the formatting would change based on what was on these in these cells. So I'm going to clear out those again, and let's see here. I can also duplicate values, so I'll highlight this information. So rules, duplicate values. Now any duplicates will also highlight for us. The next one is top and bottom rules. So, okay, so the next tab is top and bottom rules. So I can have it highlight the top 10 numbers. Now, of course, we have more than 10 numbers here, so all of them highlighted. I can bump that down to 5. And now the top 5 numbers here will highlight for me. I can also do it for the bottom 10 items. Or we can do percentage. If we only want the top 10% of numbers to highlight, I can click that. And now only the top 10%, which is just 30, highlights for us. And of course, I can do that with the bottom 10% as well. So the next thing we'll look at under conditional formatting is data bars, color scales, and icon sets. And the way we're going to do that is by using these two data sets. And the data on the left is just data from ascending order from 10 to 150. And the data on the right is just random data created using the rand between formula. And the way that works is you just type in rand between and then put in the parameters of the data you wanted in between, and it'll just randomly generate numbers between these two here. It's a pretty handy formula if you've never used it. Definitely keep that in your back pocket. But anyway, so let's just get started. So I'm going to highlight this data here. So there's no, so these two don't conflict with each other. I'm going to format them separately. So I'm going to highlight this here, and I'm going to go conditional formatting, data bars, and gradient fill. And you can select any color you want, of course. I'm going to use that one. And basically, this just highlights the data based on the value that is in the cell. So we see here that 10 and 30 have just a little bit of fill in them, whereas 140 and 150 are almost all the way. 150 is all the way filled, and 140 is almost all the way filled. So it's just a good way to show, where that data is at in ascending order, or on the scale. Is it a higher number or a lower number? It's just a good way to visualize the data. But I'll highlight them both. Clear rules from the selected cell. So the next one we're going to look at is solid fill, and that is the same thing as gradient fill. It's just if you look, there's a slight gradient on the color scheme of the gradient fill, and the solid fill is just one color. So it's really more or less just a style choice in my opinion, but it also does show a slight gradient. So the next we're going to look at is color scales. And what this does, it just colors the data based on where it's at from highest to lowest. So the lower the number, the darker the red is, and the higher number, the darker the blue it is. And in the middle, the average is just white. So there is no color in that middle. And if I highlight this randomized data, you really see a little better, where you have 89 here, and it's just barely red. I mean, just barely red. You can do it with temperatures, or like the hotter, like you imagine these are temperatures. Actually, let me change this around. Conditional formatting, color scales, and I'll flip it over. And now the cooler temperatures, you could say, are 10, and the hotter temperatures are 150, and it's shown on that color scale. It's just another good way to visualize the data. That's all it is. So the next thing we're going to look at is icon sets. And all that does is I have these grades here, and it just marks them based on where it's at in the data set. So I click 3 traffic lights, and we see here that the bottom third of grades have a red circle, the middle third have a yellow circle, and the top third have a green circle. And I have it shown here in the ascending order data set, just to help you visualize it. And the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to clear this out, clear rules, entire sheet, and we're going to look at the new rule tab. And what that allows us does just to customize and create a rule with greater detail. So I can format a cell based on their values, and I can choose what color that I want to use. I can choose how many colors I want to use if I want to have it to be a data bar. I can do a minimum, click that, and it automatically does it for me. All the new rule tab does is give us greater flexibility and options to customize it. So another cool thing we can do is we can highlight our information here, and the last tab on our conditional formatting is the manage rules. And what that allows us to do is go in there and see all the rules that we have inputted in the cells we have highlighted. So we can also go in and add a rule if we want to, or we can select a rule and delete it. We can edit them. This is if you need to go in there and change some things, that's where you would go do that. And then you would apply those changes and then hit OK, and then change it around. So I'll highlight this, and let's say I want to edit that rule. Let's say I want to change the color. I can do that. Let's do orange, and then I want it to be a gradient fill rather than a solid fill. Hit apply, hit OK. Okay, so again, that's just a way to go in there and change the rules that you already have in place, or add more rules, or just see what rules you have in there. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks again for tuning in. If you have any questions, please comment them down below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you have any ideas for a new video, or just any questions you may be confused about, please put them down below, and we'll address them in a future video. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a nice day.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our video. Now before you go, how would you like to get free access to tons of Excel content that is designed to help make your life easier and your business better? free Excel tutorials, Excel PDF guides, mini courses, and even a book I'm writing right now. Well, if you don't want to miss out on those opportunities, make sure you check out the description of this video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notification icon so that you can stay up to date on all the stuff we're doing here on YouTube. Oh, and by the way, my name is Colton Coffin, and I am the founder and CEO here at Custom Excel Spreadsheets, where we help business owners and professionals get more done using tools that do exactly what they need. We help you get organized and automate tasks that save you time and money, and build collaborative tools that allow your team to perform and to engage at a higher level. And we also create some awesome visualizations that just bring your data to life and help it to tell a story that is meaningful and compelling. So I look forward to serving you with more content in the future, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.